NACUBO Liaison to the KFS project, and also with rSmart. Joining me later in the afternoon, and they can introduce themselves in more detail, will be Damon Dorsey from Indiana University, followed by Bill Overman from Indiana University, Vince Shanisi from Michigan State University. Then after the break, Nicole Raleigh and Barbara Sutton from Cornell University. Then again, Damon Dorsey from Indiana and Joan Hagan from Indiana University. And then all of us will be the panel at the end. So I'd like to thank you for coming. Before starting, how many of you are at your first Kuali Days conference? That's good to know. How many of you are from institutions that have committed or are seriously considering implementing KFS? Very good. That helps us a little bit in structuring this. Today we're going to start out with an overview. What are some of the key features of KFS? A little bit of the terminology, so that you'll be more up to speed when we start the main conference tomorrow. Then we'll go into the portal, which will become a great friend to you as you do your work. We'll talk about the chart of accounts, transaction processing, and workflow, and the general ledger. All of these are really the heart and soul of KFS. If I press the right button and go in the right direction, what is community source software? We talk about this as community source. Well, technically it's open source. Open source means you can have this for free. You don't have to pay a license fee. You can download the code and do as you wish with it, although you will probably find it cost effective to get some help in implementing it and configuring it. But we started calling it community source instead of open source because a community source means it's tightly controlled and managed. There's nothing loose about this. All of the scope documents, all of the specifications were written by a group dedicated to this purpose from our development partners. And the goal of NACUBO originally, and also the Mellon Foundation, was that we come up with something that was scalable. It would fit large and small, research and teaching, community colleges, and so on. And I think you'll see that we've achieved that goal. The Kuali community, when we started out, we were only doing KFS. And then it attracted other groups, and they thought this was a good way to go for higher education to come together and do some joint development. So now if you look at the circle in the 2 o'clock position, there's a research administration group, that's Kuali COIAS, and they do pre-award and compliance. There's a student group in the 4 o'clock position, and they also have a track here at the program tomorrow and Wednesday. At the bottom is RICE, the infrastructure, the middleware that sits between the application and the database. And that middleware is common to all of the Kuali communities. There's the endowment management project in the 8 o'clock position. That really is part of Kuali Financial Systems, but it's been a separate project. It goes beyond the dollar accounting for endowment. It keeps track of individual securities, has a searchable database, what money is available for what purpose, does projections of income available this year and next, and a lot more. And what isn't shown here, there's a meeting here in San Antonio about the HR system. I think you may have heard of the library system. So there are more of these Kuali communities coming along. But the one we're talking about this afternoon is the financial community up there in the 10 o'clock position. We were the first, and we're the furthest along of the Kuali communities. You don't have to read the details here. They're on the, also on the website. But the point is, each of these communities has its own management structure. If you look at finance up in the 11 o'clock position, you see there's a project board. And that board is composed of key representatives of the investment partners. And under the board, there's project management, the management of the developer team. The developers work on all of the different campuses. It's a virtual organization, and they report to a central manager of KFS. There's the functional council on which I serve that makes the functional decisions, writes the specs, works with the developers, does the testing to make sure that we get what we thought we requested. Available to the functional council are subject matter experts, we call them SMEs. And from each of our campuses, if this were purchasing, there would be one purchasing representative, and there's a lead SME of this group, and they would critique the purchasing module, make recommendations for enhancements or changes, and that would come to the full functional council. So you have literally dozens and dozens of people have worked on the different modules to come up with the right specs and the right outcome. Now, at the center of all of this, and coordinating all of it, is the foundation. The foundation is a 501c3 organization. Its main responsibility is to see that the different communities flourish and are sustained in the years ahead. They provide ongoing governance. They have a board, which is elected by the members. They coordinate the partner efforts so that, for example, we're all using the same middleware. They manage and protect intellectual property, which is very important nowadays. And they do conference planning. They plan and arrange for this conference. And they educate and assist members of the partner program. This slide says over 30. I think by now there are probably 40 members, including commercial affiliates. And it's this membership that sustains the foundation and provides resources to it to do its work.